Hi, welcome. Michael here from BTP. How are you today? Today I want to talk to you about scams. Now, the reason for this is a lot of people are coming up recently with a lot of scams. Now, the scam I'm going to refer to is a common one with your domain name. With domain names, yes, they expire annually or every 2 years. With SSL certificates, yes, they expire. And with things like if you sign up for the additional optional services like SEO, that can also expire or need a monthly payment or something like that. So what the scams do is they play on that, because things like expiry information at one point was available to people querying through the internet. They can work out when your domain name was going to expire, or they can find out if you've got SEO attached to your domain name, and then they can try and get their invoice in to order services for these things before your real one expires. So what may happen, let's say your expiry is the 30th of April. So on the 27th of April, you get a fax or you get a spam email or something like that with an attachment saying your domain's about to expire. Now you're expecting that. So you just sign up, put your credit card details on it and pay for it. Then suddenly you get an email saying, thank you for transferring your domain to a new domain holder. You're thinking, well, no, I just paid for renewal. No, you've been scammed. You've been moved to a different domain name provider. Somebody else has now snuck in, and obviously you're now paying them for your domain name. Or they may send you a letter saying that the SEO for your domain has expired, please pay for it. And you know your domain's about to expire, and you think SEO is just a fancy word for domain name, so you pay it, not realizing SEO is an optional extra service, not something you need to pay for, and hence again the scammers have got their money. Now the traditional way they do it, and I've got some paper here, so just forgive me a second. Traditional way to do it is something like this. So you get a new domain name document. It comes as a PDF or something like that. Looks quite official. Comes from a domain name, whoever they might be, Melbourne IT, Domain Names Australia, whoever. And on there is your current domain name. So it looks legit. It's got your date on it and everything else of expiry. And down the bottom it might say something like reserve now to have your .com.au and .com domain name registered. And then a place for your credit card number and for you to make the payment. Now the first giveaway for these is, hang on, I didn't register my name through these people in the first place. Second thing is, right down the very bottom, in the fine print, it says, this is not a bill. You do not need to pay. In fact, I'll read it verbatim for you. And it says, this is not a bill and you are not required to pay any money. This is an invitation to register a domain name, and availability was current when the letter was prepared. So it's not a bill. Looks like a bill. It's got prices on it. It's got a place for you to remit. It's got a credit card place. It's got everything on there. Looks like a bill. At the top, it even has a bill number. There's a reference number, bill number, and talks about you need to do it or else your domain name will expire and you'll lose it. They've got a proper help desk system here. Everything looks legitimate. So if it's not a bill, why are you paying it? Now, let's have a look at another example. Here's another one. Okay, similar to the last one. It's got everything on it you'd expect. It's got the domain name on there, and they give you a 30-day money-back guarantee, and it's cheaper than the first one. It's got a billing reference number. It's got BPay, looks like a bill to me. Everything on here suggests it's a bill until you read the fine print. This notice is for a new domain, does not relate to the registration of your business name with ASIC. This is not a bill. You are not required to pay any money. For full terms, visit our website. So if it's not a bill, why is it a bill? Interesting. That's how the scammers get you. You see, they may have violated the Privacy Act by getting your contact details, or they may have legitimately got them somehow, I don't know. But as soon as they give you one of these letters, if they do not have, this is not a bill at the bottom, then it's illegal, and they know that. If you do get these, especially if you see one without the this is not a bill, contact ScamWatch, and they've got a section on there where you can report known scams. And then of course you can read about all the other people having other scams. Now, I'm just going to have a quick look here. What we've got is on page 6 of a document I've downloaded from Australian consumer law. The document is called ACL_guide_sales_practices_draft_V version 1.5. So you can Google this and download it yourself. Page 6. So it's from the ACCC and the Australian Consumer Law. It says in here, unsolicited supplies. Summary. It is unlawful to request payment for unsolicited goods or services. Well, that's what that is, it's an invoice. It's unlawful to request payment for unauthorised entries or advertisements. It's unlawful to send unsolicited credit cards or debit cards documentation. That all looks unlawful. Down the bottom here, a business or person must not issue an invoice that states an amount to be paid for unsolicited goods or services, unless, and here's the interesting bit, the unless. After that it says, they reasonably believe they have the right to be paid, that's fair enough, or the invoice contains the warning required by law. This is the first way you can tell this is unsolicited and you didn't request it and you don't owe them anything. This is a requirement by law for unsolicited. Here we are. This is not a bill. You're not required to pay any money. Aha! This warning must be the most prominent text in the document. Well, they failed that in this particular document, but anyway. So the maximum civil and criminal penalties for requesting such a payment, $1.1 million for a body corporate and $220,000 for an individual. So what we're saying is that these fakes, which could trick you into parting with your money, become legal because of a few words written at the bottom. Those words need to be prominent. They're not prominent. So I would argue that these documents are trying to get around that law, which is obvious because it's how they make their money. But when you get renewals, when you get invoices, if you see the words do not bill, straight away, little alarm bell, it's an unsolicited invoice for a service you do not currently have. You likely have no connection with the company that sent this to you, and it's likely a scam. And you're going to see these, like I said, for websites, email addresses, public this, private that, whatever to do with the internet. Internet seems to be fair game these days for these sorts of things. SSL certificates and things like that. So whenever you get an invoice like that that you're not expecting, have a bit of a look at it, look for the words do not, this is not a bill, you do not have to pay any money, and ask somebody and check with your bookkeeper. Are we paying for our domain name through these people or not? Because these scams are rampant. They used to come a lot through fax machines, now they're coming as attachments as PDFs and things in email, or documents and RTF files. And a lot of them, believe it or not, get paid. And we've had one customer who's paid 3 of them to 3 different scammers before they realised that their real one was due and they had to pay that as well. So goodbye $1,000, because $200 for 2 years for a number of them. So don't get scammed. Keep an eye out. Right, well that's today's little bit of information. So I hope that's of use to some of you, and have a great day.